On the flip side, you come to South Africa and say to a colored person, excuse me, are you mixed race? They'll probably be like, yo, massive mixed race. So you must be careful.
For a new comedian who's still developing or who's still sort of making his mark, a lot of theaters are rather reluctant, you know, to take the risk and say, what, just a one-man show, just you on your own? We were lucky enough that the Lyric Theatre, which is probably one of the best theatres in the country, you know, they were in between productions and they said, okay, look, we got 2 days, so if you guys think you can sell 2 shows in that time, go ahead and do it.
After that you can't back then jump protest.
My comedy is based on memories. A lot of my comedy is from when I was in the township. When people say to me, why do you go back to the township? I don't go back to the township. The township is part of my life. It's a place where I lived. And it's a place that I lived not because I wanted to, but because as a people we were forced to by the government. So I don't go back to the township. I go to visit my grandmother. So this is it. This is where I grew up. As you can see, my granny's balling. She's got a wall. Yeah, you know you gotta have that wall. It's like MTV Cribs. Yeah, you know you gotta have that wall. You gotta have that painted gate. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. That's right. We be rolling like that hard through the township.
I could never bring my...
In this country, we're still dealing with the scars of apartheid. We're still dealing with trying to reconcile all these races and ethnic cultures into one society. So that's why it ends up being a subject of choice for so many comedians, you know? And also comedy is about conflict, human interaction.
About global warming, because what is global warming? If we don't save the earth, then we might die in 200 years. Poor people are like, yeah, but if I don't eat now, we'll die next week. Next week, that will be my ass. Next week, I will fuck.
You want to be heard. You want to be heard. I think everyone wants to be heard.
I think people who hide behind facades and, oh, don't say this, don't say this, it's like rubbish, man, come on. The truth, the more we tell the truth, the quicker we'll get to the front of the line, you know, the better chance we stand. That's the problem with South Africa, that too many people don't want to admit the things. So they don't want to admit that shit is wrong. They don't want to admit that there's still massive levels of poverty. They don't want to admit that AIDS is something that's destroying the nation. They just don't, nobody wants to admit anything. We just want to live in this hoo-ha utopia world, and it's not like that. As a comedian, you've got the platform to tell the truth. You got to be that guy out there saying those things. And I mean, I mess around a lot of the time, you know. I'm not even the guy. I always admire like Loiso for that, because Loiso's the kind of guy who says that.
It was crazy, and I was walking down Long Street during the campaign time. I was walking down Long Street, and I'm walking against the traffic. And I can see these DA posters. And I'm thinking, well, it's a one-way street and I'm walking against the traffic. That's a cock plan, right? Then I thought to myself, that's how you lose a thing, you know what I mean? What about the people who are driving? They don't see the posters. It's only the people who are walking against the... Then I thought about it. Who votes for the DA anyway? Paranoid white people, they drive around like this.
White Kiptonians still fear coming to the country.
there you meet someone and they're like, I've never been to a township, I've never been to Guguletu, and the person lives right across in violence, it's like 10 minutes away. You know? I don't know what they're scared of. I don't know if they expect to find. I don't know what they expect to find. The impact, why people are freaked out about the game. Check it out. You might like it. You actually might want to settle down with the kid. I'm from Cape Town, man. I grew up in Guguletu. Yeah, man. I grew up there, man. I was actually back there today, man. It was quite cool. Do you white people know what Guguletu is? Well, you should know you put us there, motherfuckers.
But they mustn't give me this bullshit about, oh, it's the first time to be able to speak. Bullshit. These guys were about 1 or 2 years old when we had the transition. They had 15 years.
Maybe it's a therapeutic thing for them. Maybe it's good to talk about the apartheid thing. But when do you say enough is enough?
The black and white experience. It's enough now. It's gone. It's finished. We must get past that.
A black guy will get up and one of the first things. So, you know, it's like when we're in the townships and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like a guy gets chosen because he's a young black South African, not because he's a proficient comedian. They have BEE policies. They have to hire black people or colored people for black economic empowerment.
They all went to private schools, you know. So they mustn't come bullshit that they were previously disadvantaged.
Like sometimes you'll tell a joke and then you get like a racist crowd that'll laugh at it taking it the wrong way. It's because of apartheid. Because you can't blame the old...
15 years. This shit only was...
Yeah, but it ended 15 years ago. But then you must remember, it's not like it's instant. Do you know what I mean? It's not instant.
I don't understand. People always say, hey, you black people must get over this apartheid shit. No one in the world will go, yeah, you know you Jews. You must forget about this Holocaust. Please. You know what I'm saying? Because with atrocities, there's no measurement. There's no instrument that measures how much an atrocity or how... You don't go, how the Holocaust was worse than Bosnia, Bosnia was worse than... You know what I'm saying? You just have to respect.
In South Africa, we've always suffered from segregated audiences. It's always, is it a white show? Is it a black show? Is it a colored show? Who's going to come to the show? There's so much we share in common that we don't even realize. And when you laugh at the same things, you start to realize how much you actually share. Every show is like, who's the audience going to be? I just want it to be you South Africans, not even South Africans, international, just human beings. You know what I mean? Just if you're human, come to the show. I'm not saying dogs mustn't come, but I'm just saying, like, you're human, you know? Just come to the show. That's all I want. I don't want it to be about age or race or religion or anything. It's about people.
Jacob Zuma was supposed to be the craziest president South Africa ever had. It was the only reason I voted for him. It was just madness. And look at him, he's come in. He wears a tie and a suit. He stopped singing. He's got a cabinet that looks like they know what they're doing. He's going to fight corruption, and he even fired Manto Shabalala Simone. I was expecting a madman, a crazy guy, someone who was just going to throw the country away. And look who I got, someone who's actually doing their job. I can't believe it. Once again, the ANC has failed to deliver. I wanted Jacob to be wild. I pictured this guy walking into Parliament 4 hours late, not even wearing a shirt, you know, his tummy hanging out, walking in there wearing a little plastic crown, busy singing to himself. Helen Zille and the other guys in Parliament losing it. Jacob, you're late. You can't just come here. You can't come 4 hours late. Hey, shut up, shut up. Hey, shut up. Hey, late for who? Late for who? Late for who? It's my time now. Hey, shut up, man. Yeah. Thought he was going to be crazy, you know? Helen and them fighting with him. No, Jacob, you can't just run this place the way you want. Jacob getting angry, whipping his penis out, hitting on the forehead. Pa! No, because I mean, it's not so. It's not so. It just makes that sound. You're like, you know, like that. It's not. I mean, like, what are you gonna do if someone does that to you? Like, what are you gonna go to the police? Like, what do you do? What do you tell them? I mean, is it assault or is it sexual harassment? How does it work? You know, you never know. I mean, what do you even say at the police station? Can you imagine walking in there and them asking you that question? You'd be there, and then Who hit you? Who? With what? On your head. Just tell this guy, tell him what happened. Tell him. I'm not laughing.